sol, la, sol,
Better.
mi,
sol, mi, re.
mi, sol, mi, re.
Mi, sol, mi, re, do.
Mi, sol, mi, re, do.
Good, fine. Hello, thank you for joining us in our musicianship workshop. My colleagues and I have just been preparing to demonstrate some techniques that are used in the development of independent musicianship in our students. If you are like me and like my colleagues, you probably have this problem, and that is we're all under tremendous time pressures to produce concerts, many times for entertainment purposes, and many times the music that we have to sing is limited to a particular season. What happens? The curriculum is forgotten. How do we teach skills and still meet these demands? We'd like to show you today some techniques that you might be able to use in your teaching to demonstrate and to develop skills of musicianship even while you're doing some of the most simple kind of classroom activities, maybe just using a simple song for rote learning. Those participating with us today, some of them are teachers from our Choral Ed Mentoring Project, and others are recent graduates of Duquesne University here in Pittsburgh. We'd like to begin by reviewing some of the tools that we'll be using this morning. We start with the solfa syllables from movable do solfege. So would you join me in reviewing each solfa name as well as its corresponding hand sign? I'll sing the name to you. You sing it back. And I'd like to invite all of you at home to do the same thing. Please try it along with us. Here we go. This is do,
do,
re,
re,
mi,
mi,
fa,
fa,
sol,
sol,
la,
la,
ti,
ti,
do.
do.
Very lovely sounds. We needed a good breath for those high ones, didn't we? Let's try the scale from beginning to end, going up and down using the hand signals. Don't forget to join us. Here we go with a nice breath, please.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
Coming down.
Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do.
Good. Let's just sing one pattern. Echo a pattern for me and show how the solfa is used in a phrase. Mi, so, sol, la, mi, so, so.
Mi, so, sol, la, mi, so, so.
Good. It was very musical and very connected, and I like that. The solfa, hand signs, and all of the syllables can be found in your print materials, along with some suggestions as to how to practice them yourself to make them feel more comfortable in your own coordination skills. Let's look over at the chart for a moment at some rhythm syllables, because we'll be using them as well. When we have a quarter note, or a single beat in simple time, we'll be calling it a ta. When we have 2 eighth notes, we'll divide that ta into 2 t's. When we have a half note, or 2 beats long, we'll have ta-o. So the syllable sound changes when the beat changes. Would you clap back a pattern for me right now, just to demonstrate some of this? Ta, ta, ti, ti, ta.
Ta, ta, ti, ti, ta.
Ti, 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 ta.
Ti, 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 ta.
Good, and again you can find more syllables and more patterns in the print materials. Let's go right into our demonstration today. We're going to take a very simple American folk song that any one of you might be using in your classroom even now, or you could actually teach as a warm-up for your choral rehearsal. This is a play party game. And play parties are wonderful for developing the voice and developing musicianship skills because they were meant to be sung without music. without musical accompaniment, and also to develop some social interaction. They've originated in a culture where dancing was frowned upon, and so as you know, dancing is a wonderful way to meet people, and so these were really done by young adults, not by children, but they're excellent for children. So I'd like to teach you Great Big House in New Orleans today. Listen to the first verse. There's something silly in it. Tell me when I'm finished singing what was silly. While you're listening, would you just tap the beat quietly on your lap? Great big house in New Orleans, 40 stories high. Every room that I went in filled with chicken pie. What was silly in the first verse?
Chicken pie.
Chicken pie. What about the chicken pie? Where was it?
40-story building.
In a 40-story building and in every room. Thank you very much. All right, I'll sing each phrase. You sing it back to me. Great big house in New Orleans, 40 stories high.
Great big house in New Orleans, 40 stories high.
Every room that I went in filled with chicken pie.
Every room that I went in filled with chicken pie.
Good. Will you sing it all together by yourselves from the beginning, straight through? Ready and sing now.
Great big house in New Orleans, 40 stories high. Every room that I went in filled with chicken pie.
Good, good. Now, next verse. Went down to the old mill stream to fetch a pail of water. Put one arm around my wife, the other around my daughter. Aha! You're all ready to do the whole thing. Let's break it apart. Went down to the old mill stream to fetch a pail of water.
Went down to the old mill stream to fetch a pail of water.
Put one arm around my wife, the other around my daughter.
Put one arm around my wife, the other around my daughter.
Good, let's do that whole verse. Let's do a patch snap while we do it. Ready? And went down
to the old mill stream to fetch a pail of water. Put one arm around my wife, the other around my daughter.
Great, and one last verse. Fare thee well, my darling girl, fare thee well, my daughter. Fare thee well, my darling girl, with the golden slippers on her. Take it apart. Chico's always ready to go. Went down to the old mill stream. Oh, that's the second verse. Fare thee well, my darling girl, fare thee well, my daughter.
Fare thee well, my darling girl, fare thee well, my daughter.
Fare thee well, my darling girl, with the golden slippers on her.
Fare thee well, my darling girl, with the golden slippers on her.
Yeah, what's the darling girl wearing? Golden slippers. Fare thee well, my darling girl, with the golden slippers on her. Try the ending. And
fare thee well, my darling girl, with the golden slippers on her.
Yeah, we'll have plenty of time to review the verses because now we're going to actually play the game. So if we can have the gentlemen come out and make a circle right in the center, right here. Come on, fellas. Quickly. All right, now I'm going to step out here. Ladies, will you come and just step to the right of any gentleman, and that person is going to become your partner. First verse is so easy. Ladies, step to the outside. Gentlemen, let's face this direction. And here we go as we sing Great Big House in New Orleans. Take hands. Ready and sing now.
Great big house in New Orleans, 40 stories high. Every room that I went in filled with chicken pie.
Ah, you're wonderful. Good. Second verse gets a little bit more challenging now. On the first part of the phrase, ladies walk into the center. And we join hands. Sing with me. Went down to and. Went down to the old mill stream and stop. Our hands are down. Fellas, you're going to walk in behind us and bring your hands over ours, singing to fetch a pail of water. Ready? To fetch a pail of water. Now you join hands, and guess what happens next? Put one arm around my wife. What do you think? Up and over. Put one arm around my wife. And ladies, the other around my daughter. Yeah, you have to duck, fellas, definitely. Let's try the second verse again. Let's step back a little bit. All right, here we go. Went down to the old mill stream. We've just come from this position. We're outside our partners, to the right of our partners. Here we go. Ready, and went down to the old mill stream to fetch a pail of water. Put one arm around my wife, the other around my daughter. Oh, you are so good. Right, we're ready for the big time now. All right, now comes the fun part, the real fun part. we need to do a side slide, a sachet to the left. And we're going to do, fare thee well, my darling girl, fare thee well, my daughter, fare thee well, my darling girl, with the golden slippers on her. All right, now, can we do that again and make it faster? We can't take very big steps, can we? But we'll try to make it a little more exciting. Ready, and.
Fare thee well, my darling girl, fare thee well, my daughter, fare thee well, my darling girl, with the golden slippers on her.
All right. I think if you put your left foot out to the back a little bit, it helps the circle to propel. All right? Let's do the whole thing from beginning to end. All right. Okay, ladies, where are you? All right, here we go. Ready, to, and sing.
Great big house in New Orleans, 40 stories high. Every room that I went in was filled with chicken pie. Went down to the old mill stream to fetch a pail of water. Put one arm around my wife, the other around my daughter. Fare thee well, my darling girl, fare thee well, my darling. Fare thee well, my darling girl, the golden slippers on her.
All right, if you can catch your breath now, I'd like you to go back to your seats and see how many creative ways you can think of showing the beat. Each one of you, one by one, all right? Nobody has to do the same thing that anyone else is doing. Let's try it. From the beginning, ready, and sing. Great big house in New Orleans, 40 stories high. I don't hear you singing.
To the old mill stream, fetch a pail of water. Put one arm around my wife, the other around my daughter. Fare thee well, my darling girl, fare thee well, my daughter. Fare thee well, my darling girl, with the golden slippers on her.
Oh, great. Wonderful things, even a traffic policeman over here. Thank you, Don. All right, why don't you have a seat? And let's focus for a moment, if you will, on the rhythm of the words of this song, just on the first verse, since that's the one that we seem to know the words the best for. Let's take it, and just on your palm, lightly tap the rhythm of the words as you sing the first verse. Ready, and sing.
Great big house in New Orleans, 40 stories high. Every room that I went in was filled with chicken pie.
Good. All right. Now, let's just take that first part of the first phrase and see if we can get the notation up on the board. Who can sing Great Big House in New Orleans using rhythm syllables? Todd?
T-T-T-T-T-T-ta.
All right, good. I'm going to write it up here, and then I'd like you all to sing it as we read it from the chart. All right, ready, and sing and clap.
T-T-T-T-T-ta.
Good, the next part. 40 stories high. Sing it.
40 stories high.
All right, who can sing that with rhythm syllables? Diane?
T-T-T-T-ta.
40 stories high. Did we change the note on high?
No, we didn't.
High. High. Do we change the pitch?
No. 40 stories high. Yes, we did.
Okay. So we need to change the rhythm at the same time. So we have T, 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 what? Ta, ta. Good. Let's sing the first half of the song together and clap the rhythm. Ready, and.
T-T-T-T-T-ta. T-T-T-T-ta-ta.
The next part. Every room that I went in. Chico?
T-T-T-T-T-ta.
Right. Can you sing it, please, with rhythm syllables? And.
T-T-T-T-T-ta.
Similar to something else that's up here? Same as the first one. Good. And the last part. Filled with chicken pie. Clap it as you sing it. Filled with chicken pie. Who can sing it with syllables? Neil?
T-T-T-T-ta-ho.
Right. T-T-T-T-ta. Good. Let's do the entire song, please. Ready, to, and clap.
T-T-T-T-T-ta. T-T-T-T-ta-ta. T-T-T-T-T-ta. T-T-T-T-ta.
Can you do that from memory? Don't look at the chart. Do it from memory. Ready, to, and sing.
T-T-T-T-T-ta. T-T-T-T-ta-ta. T-T-T-T-T-ta. T-T-T-T-ta.
You've done so well with the rhythm. Let's see if we can get the melody, the solfa names for each note in the melody. Who can find already, just by recalling from your own tonal memories, where do is? What note is do? Who can sing it? Chris?
Do.
Do. And where is it up here in relationship to this rhythm?
At the end.
At the very end. All right, so I'm going to write the D for do right here. Can you sing the do?
Do.
Where's the starting note in relationship to do? Great, if this is do, what's this note? Susan?
Me.
Me. Good, so we're going to begin with me. Let's hum the first line and try to think of the solfa names. Ready? And. We'll slow this down a little bit, okay? Who can sing it in solfa? Todd?
Mi, so, sol, la, mi, so, so.
Good. Mi, so, so, la, mi, so, so. Would you all sing that and try to show the hand signs at the same time? We'll keep a very steady, a little slower beat. Ready to and sing.
Mi, so, sol, la, mi, so, so.
Good. Now you're concentrating so hard on singing the right syllables and what you're doing with your hands that the singing is a little anemic and flat. Can you hear that? Could you try to take a better breath and really open up the vowel? The solfa syllables should help you to sing more beautifully. Ready? Let's try it again.
Mi, so, sol, la, mi, so, so.
Good. The next phrase. 40 stories high. Hum it. Who's going to try that one? Nancy?
Mi, so, so, mi, re. Mi, so, so, la, so. No, wait.
Mi, so, so, la,
Mi, re.
Good. Self-correction. Terrific. Mi, so, so, la, mi, re. Very often we're only one step ahead of our students on this. It takes a while to get comfortable with the syllables, especially when the hands are moving at the same time as the mouth and the brain. Let's try the second phrase. Ready? And.
Mi, so, so, la, mi, re.
Good. And we know that the third phrase, every room that I went in, is what? Same as the first. So that saves us some time because we figured that out a while ago. Now the last phrase, filled with chicken pie. We know we're coming home to do. Filled with chicken pie. Can you all do it? Starting on
Mi, so, mi, re, do.
excellent. Feels good to come home, doesn't it? Mi, so, mi, re, do. Let's do the whole song with hand signs. Ready? And.
Mi, so, so, la, mi, so, so. Mi, so, so, la, mi, re. Mi, so, so, la, mi, so, so. Mi, so, mi, re, do.
Good. Now let's get into this. Is our staff note, our solfa notation exercise. What if we wanted to transfer this to real notation on the staff? We've shown now that your ears and your brain are working together. Let's see if we can add your eyes to the whole thing. What if I said that the starting note were right here? This is me. Where would we have to write do? Do would be on the first space, all right? How about so?
Third space.
Third space. Good. How about la?
Fourth line.
Fourth line. All right. Would you take your clipboards now and would you begin to write on 4 individual lines to correspond with the format we have over here in the staff notation? Would you do that? And Hattie, would you mind coming up to the board and would you write your example at the chart? Thank you. While you're writing, try to keep the melody going, keep it alive in your head so that your inner voice and your inner ear is working for you. Good. I see that most of you have added the rhythm too. Go ahead. Do you want to do that straight down in 4 rows, just like it was on the solfa notation? This is great. I'm noticing how individually each one of you is writing with your own different styles, your own different spacing. This is exactly what you find in your classroom. Writing probably takes the most amount of time of anything that we do in musicianship training, so that this is where many teachers forget or decide that there isn't really enough time for this, or this is the time we lose some kids. But it's so important in developing the reading skills. Let's see how we're doing up here at the board. Good work, Hattie. Takes a while to draw in those notes, doesn't it?
Yes.
All right. Who's finished? All right, let me take a look at it. Good. Todd, would you sing it by yourself in solfa, please? You can just tap a steady beat. You don't need to do the syllables now. Let's read it by tapping the beat. But read it from your paper. This is the important thing now. In reading, we want to connect the I to the voice. In solfa, yes.
Mi so so, mi so so la, mi so so, mi so so la, mi re, mi so so la, mi so so, mi so mi re do.
Good, good. Who else is finished? Chico? Good. Will you sing, please?
Mi so so la, mi so so, mi so so la, mi re, mi so so la, mi so so, mi so mi re do.
Good. Good, good, good. I liked especially when Chico was singing, because I could tell he was making an effort to open up the vowels. The A on the la was nice and bright and in tune, and the jaw was showing the rhythm. The rhythm was actually in his articulator here. That's super. Okay, let's take a look up at the board. Hattie, are you finished? Good. Would you sing from your work?
Mi so so la, mi so so, mi so so la, mi re, mi so so la, mi so so, mi so mi re do.
Good. Everybody try it together. Ready? Reading from your own clipboard now. If you've made any mistakes, you can correct it. Hattie's is perfect. And let's read from what we've written. Ready, 2, and sing.
Mi so so la, mi so so, mi so so la, mi re, mi so so la, mi so so, mi so mi re do.
Good. Wonderful. Now, thank you very much, Hattie. Would you take your clipboards now, and let's see if we can transpose this melody. Instead of to do, mi, and so being on spaces, let's transpose it to lines. Let's say mi is on the 3rd line. Where will do be? Which line? Second line. Where will so be? 4th line. We've got mi here. It's claimed the spot already. All right, the premise we have now is that if do is on a line, mi and so are on a line. If do is on a space, mi and so are on the space. So they're all in the same family situation here. All right, take your music now and write it next to what you've written, and write it in the new key, with do, mi, and so being on lines. We didn't take the time to ask where la will go, but I'm sure you can figure that out. Don't forget to continue to sing in your own heads. You're writing very quickly, and that's wonderful because of where you are now. Imagine a 3rd grader trying to do this, and you know we could never do all of this in one lesson. But I thought it was important that you see a sequence. You might stretch all of this out over a couple of classes, actually. Anyone ready to sing yet? Are you ready, Todd? Okay, sing from the new key now.
Mi so so la, mi so so, mi so so la, mi re, mi so so la, mi so so,
mi, sol, mi, re, do.
Good. Is everyone finished? Read it from your new key, all together. Ready to and sing.
Mi, sol, sol, la, mi, sol, sol, mi, sol, sol, la, mi, re. Mi, sol, sol, la, mi, sol, sol, mi, sol, mi, re, do.
Good. Let's go back to the original version. I'm going to take my tuning fork, and if you listen to this sound, this is mi in the first key. Mi, can you hear it? It's a little higher than we've been singing. I hope your voices are up there. Let's sing it in the correct key. Mi, sol, sol. Ready?
Mi, sol, sol, la, mi, sol, sol, mi, sol,
Read it from your
sol, la,
clipboards.
mi, re.
Look at it while you
Mi,
sing.
sol, sol, la, mi, sol, sol, mi, sol, mi, re, do.
Good. Now, if we go to the next version where mi is on the third line, and we know that re, or the tuning fork sign, excuse me, the pitch for the tuning fork is always here on the second space. What syllable will that be in the new key? If this is mi, what's this one? Re. All right, so here's re. Re. Can you find me? Re. Yeah, we climbed up a little bit. Stretch the inside of the mouth and get those vowels nice and open. Lots of breath. Ready? And
Mi, sol, sol, la, mi, sol, sol, mi, sol, sol, la, mi, re. Mi, sol, sol, la, mi, sol, sol, mi, sol, mi, re, do.
ooh, did you hear the pitch on that last part? Can you give me the last line again? Mi's, and try to narrow the descending intervals between mi, re, and do so we keep it in tune. Ready, sing.
Mi, sol, mi, re, do.
Yeah, just a little tip with the re because it's got that ugly American R. Mi, re, do. If you flip it, it keeps it more in tune instead of mi, re, do. We can get mi, re, do. Keeps it in the same vocal channel as well. Sing it, the last phrase one more time. Mi, sol.
Mi, sol, mi, re, do.
Excellent. Sing the whole song from memory with solfa. You want to go back to the original key? Yeah. Okay, here we are on mi, sol, sol. Ready, and.
Mi, sol, sol, la, mi, sol, sol, mi, sol, sol, la, mi, re. Mi, sol, sol, la, mi, sol, sol, mi, sol, mi, re, do.
All right, super. We've done lots of nice things, and we could do so many more things to develop musicianship skills. I'd just like to ask you, in the last 15 or 20 minutes, how have you been stretched musically with using just one song? What are some of the skills that you've just worked on? Nancy?
I was just going to say a lot of aspects were put in with just one song. We learned rhythms, and we learned notes on the staff, things like that.
All right, so we did some literacy thing. We actually did reading and followed it up with writing. Those two reinforce one another. Sometimes we think that all we do have to do is read and we get to be better readers, but writing plays a very key role in reinforcing reading. What else, Todd?
To become more familiar with everybody when we played the game.
Yeah, it was an affective dimension to our play, wasn't it? We got to know one another. You felt a little more comfortable. You smiled. You felt a little silly now and then, and you sort of lose some of those inhibitions that we may have started out with. Anything else? Chico?
I was going to say, similar to what Todd said, the moving, the fun of learning in the dance.
All right, so we moved, we danced. It was fun, yeah. Todd?
We started out by with listening to learn the song by rote, and then we continued to sing the song and putting different beats to it so it didn't get monotonous. Going over the different words and the different verses and kept the beat different ways so it didn't get boring.
All right, so if we were to summarize, we've really covered all of the basic skills: listening, moving, singing, playing, creating, and most importantly, for the development of the total musician, reading and writing. All in a 20-minute segment. Do you think about this? Is it possible to do this in your general music classes? Takes some planning on your part, but it really pays off. Occasionally, we even talked about better singing. And that's very important. Sometimes when we focus on the intellectual aspects of things, we forget about singing. Try to remember that. The teacher is listening all the time. and we're working on the singing skills at the same time as we're working on those cognitive musical skills. It's been fun to work with you today. I hope it's been fun for you as well, and I hope those of you at home really did participate. We hope that you'll find the print materials useful on this subject and that you'll follow up with the next tape. Why don't we finish our activities this morning with one more time through the game. Got your partners? Ready to and sing.
Great big house in New Orleans, 40 stories high. Every room that I went in was filled with chicken pie. Went down to the old mill stream to fetch a pail of water. Put my arm around my wife, the other around my daughter. Fare thee well, my darling girl, fare thee well, my darling. Fare thee well, my darling girl, the golden slippers on her.
All right.
The Triad Video Workshop was made possible by a grant from the Howard Hines Endowment, supporting nonprofit organizations in the fields of health, education, human services, community development, civic affairs, and the performing and visual arts.